My daughter would sing to herself, or hum, whenever she would walk around and play. She was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my entire life. She looked just like her mother, with beautiful blue eyes, pale skin, and the most beautiful golden blonde hair you could ever wish to lay your eyes on. She was everything to me. She was who I looked forward to seeing every day after work. I'm sorry I keep using the term beautiful, but that's what she was to me. I lost her in early October. It has taken me some time to try to be able to write this down. My therapist said if I was able to put it into words, everything that happened, I might find some comfort in finding a better life or better mental health after her passing. Before I can even go into the events that led to my daughter's passing, I think I should let you know the story of me and my little birdie. I didn't even know I had a daughter. A single one-night stand gave me a gift I could never be more grateful for. I knew her mother throughout high school. We talked occasionally, but never found a common ground, liking the same things. We were just two people on opposite paths. Maybe in another timeline or another world, we were together, taking care of our beautiful little bird. When I was made aware that I had a daughter, it had thrown my life for a loop. I was midway through med school, racking up student loans. I had to leave school once I laid my eyes on little Birdie. She was beautiful. There was no doubt in my mind that she was mine. She was given to me by her mother's parents. They informed me of her passing, also that she ended up becoming pregnant, kept the baby, chose not to tell me about it. During the birth of Birdie, her mother ended up passing away due to complications. Her parents didn't want to go into specifics when telling me about her passing, but explained that they couldn't take care of Birdie. They offered to help me pay some of my student loan debts, knowing that I would force to quit school to take care of her. I denied their proposals, left school, and got a place with Birdie. Med school was stressful, so in a way, I was happy to be out of it. I took up an apprenticeship and studied under one of my friends from high school. He was a mechanic and taught me everything he knew. During this time, I tried to do everything for Birdie. We would go to the park immediately when I get home. She would run around and play with the other kids. She was a kind-hearted soul. If she thought the other kids were being mean to one another, she would try to break it up. She was 5 at this time. Even though some of the other kids would pick on her, she never cared. She always told me, "Daddy, it's okay. They are happy." She was so selfless for someone so young. She never begged or cried for things to be catered to her like most kids. And I struggled with money, being forced to skip Christmases. I tried to do everything I could for Birdie. Even with student loan debt and the overly high rent everywhere we stayed, we needed a break. Some place to be able to settle down. That was when I found it. There was a small 2-bedroom house in upstate New York, along the Hudson River. It was being built, but abandoned by the people who were working on it. Everything was there, though. All the wiring, the insulation was up, and it seemed like a great deal. It was just practically an empty shell. The only really fixed up rooms were the 2 bedrooms. Everything else we would have to figure out on our own. That was okay with me. I just wanted to finally settle down and let my daughter experience a normal childhood. I wanted her to be able to make friends, have them come over, for us to be able to invite them over for birthday parties, and I can't do that anymore. I would have done anything for her. To be able to swing her in my arms, lifting up the sky. Even now, I can hear her laughs echoing through this house. It's getting worse. When we finally packed up everything, I loaded everything into my minivan and we drove out to the Hudson. We did some sightseeing, looked at the colleges, and ate at one of the cooking school's dining halls that were open to the public. Little giggles. I will always remember them. She thought it was so funny that one of the campus dining areas was called the Egg. I talked to some people, and we tried to show her to play pool, but I had to help guide the pole. She had one of the best times of her life. I even made a couple friends that night. When we drove away from the college, it took us a short amount of time to arrive to our new house. It's on the side of a hill on a windy road. When we unpacked all of our stuff, I had to install new locks on the doors, windows, and closed up the vents. Birdie's bedroom walls were a bluish-white color, with some gray splotches scattered on them. I had decided to make it feel more at home, and we put pictures of our old homes, pictures from park walks, and even put our handprints on the wall. Her handprint, so small compared to mine. When we had finally settled all of our stuff in, Birdie started school. I took so many pictures of her and put them all over the walls. She was so adorable. When leaving, I had to practically put her on the bus myself because she would just not let go of my arm. After a couple of weeks, she started making plenty of friends, and my work had been going well. Birdie started acting strange though. Throughout the week, she had been talking to herself in her room with no one in there. I went to the doctors to make sure she was okay, but they explained to me that Birdie has an overly working imagination for someone her age, that there would be nothing to worry about. She had started to become more distant towards me, which was completely out of Birdie's character though. She had always hung out with me, never more than 10 feet away at all times when we were home. What had me incredibly nervous is that she would be talking in her room, laughing and giggling, having full-length conversation with someone that wasn't actually there. This is what started to worry me, because I had never heard of a child around her age with that active of an imagination. I don't know. I went to ask for a second opinions, and doctors just told me she's young and she'll grow out of it. That is all temporary. I started to think about it over the next couple of days. Birdie never really had a mother or any friends most of her life. It was just me and her, together in a world that was built to strike us down. I had decided that I needed to try to understand my daughter more. We both sat down on the floor. Hey Birdie, you know I love you very much, right? Yes, and I love you too, Daddy, said Birdie. You know, I'm always here to talk to you and play whenever I'm around, right? I know, Daddy. Birdie, would you be able to tell me about the friend you've been speaking to in your bedroom? Are you talking about Mr. Echo, Daddy? Yes, sweetheart. He's one of my best friends. He is timid, so he doesn't tend to leave the vents. He's not much of a talker. What do you mean in the vents, Birdie? The vent in my room, Dad. He's been there since we've gotten here. You were sure that there's someone in there? Yes, Dad. He's in there right now. I was talking to him before we came to talk. There was something I didn't notice during our conversation. A slight sound of shuffling. It came directly behind where Birdie was sitting. I quietly picked her up and proceeded to leave the house. When we made it outside, I called a couple of my friends made from the college, and they came over to help me search the vents. Nothing ended up coming up, besides a couple of rats and little bones scattered throughout the deeper of the vents. I hadn't gotten over the situation, but everyone else decided to chalk it up to a situation to Birdie's wild imagination. Ever since that day, my friends from the college started playing with Birdie and coming over to watch her. With them coming over and treating her like a younger sister, the conversations with Mr. Echo seemed to have slowed down until she just stopped talking to him completely. I checked the vents frequently whenever I heard a sound. There would always be nothing though. Life had seemed to completely turn to normalcy. This normalcy lasted a couple of months until October 24th. Me and Birdie had just gotten done watching a movie with my friends and our newfound brothers. They had left and I took Birdie into her bedroom and used the bathroom. I was in the bathroom, I could hear her walking down the hallway coming closer to the bedroom door. I told Birdie that I was in there and I'll be out shortly, and I told her that she needed to go back to bed. She kept asking me to go back outside and play with her. Her knocking persisted until I got fed up with it and let my short temper out. I told her to go to bed more sternly, and I should have. I could hear her say in a strangely quiet tone, "Catch me, catch me." The sound of little feet running away from the door and the back door, the house opening and closing, caused me to get out of the bathroom and chase after her. I couldn't find her anywhere. Nowhere. I checked the place that I bought her. I checked under the porch of the house to see if she was hiding. I even checked the tree line to see if she was hiding. I gave up and went into the house to see if I could call my friends and the police to see if they could help me find her. When I looked at the back door of the house, a figure was standing in the doorway. I couldn't make out a detail whatsoever. All I could tell is that they were tall and it appeared slightly disfigured, with arms longer than they should have been, and legs that looked too skinny to be keeping up straight. They closed the back door and locked it. I could see Birdie staring at me through her bedroom window. Her golden hair was neatly put into a bun I had put in before bed. She was wearing her Hello Kitty pajamas, and she was just smiling at me. There was no fear on her face, just the same old happy Birdie. The person I cherished more than anything in my entire life. I got to the door and I was just banging on it. I managed to break the lock when I ran through the house and made it to her bedroom. The vent in her room was completely open, and the window of her room was wide open. I could just see the memories going through my head of me and Birdie spending time with each other. Something in me just knew that the smile that she gave me was the last one I would ever see of hers again. I called the police and they couldn't find anything. They said they couldn't find any tracks leading to the woods either. My friends came over and tried to help search the woods, Birdie, but nothing had come up. It was almost as if she was just spirited away, not a trace of where she could have been gone or found. When I told the detective about what happened, he told me I must have been going through some trauma from the incident. My brain is trying to fill the gaps of what's standing in my doorway. I would have started to believe him until I could hear my daughter's giggles echoing through my house at night. There was nothing in the house, though, not a trace of my daughter. I had friends stay over, but when they were there, nothing would happen. Once they left, I swear, once I entered a room and closed the door behind me, I could hear her walking around the house still. I got on my knees, ugly crying with my hands against the floor, and begged through tears running down my face. "Please, Birdie, please just come back to Daddy. Daddy misses you so much, please, God." That is when I started to hear the singing and humming. I started to go to therapy because at the end, my therapist told me I'm experiencing audio and visual hallucinations. He put me on antipsychotic, but nothing worked. Out of the corner of my eyes, I could still see her while typing this. Her golden blonde hair and her beautiful little smile. The same smile she gave me the last day I saw her. I've even seen wet footprints today after a long day of rain. They started from the back door of my house to my room. I don't know if I'm seeing is real, but I just want my little Birdie. I want to hold her and swing her around like when we were at the parks. I want to never miss a Christmas with her ever again. I promise, my little Birdie, if you could just sing to me one more time and let Daddy find you. I promise you, I'll never let you go. I want to see you start middle school, high school. I want you to help you drive your first car, get your license, go to college, fall in love, and let me walk you down the aisle on your wedding day. Please, just please. Sing to me, my little Birdie. Let Daddy find you. I love you.